Imagine this. It's 7 p.m., you've had a long day, you're hungry, but you're not about to cook. Instead, you open an app, tap twice, and dinner's on its way. Maybe Thai food, or tacos, or some McDonald's. No mess, no prep, no interaction. That's the power of food delivery apps, that they are fast, easy, and right at your door. But what we rarely think about is the environmental cost behind that convenience. Food delivery apps like DoorDash and Uber Eats aren't just changing how we eat, they're fueling a cycle of waste, emissions, and disconnection that we've spent decades building. This isn't just a story about tech, it's a story about culture. The rise of food delivery reflects a deeper, decades long shift in how we think about food, a shift rooted in fast food, car centric development, and pandemic habits. And unless we rethink that mindset, no amount of compostable packaging is going to solve the problem. Let's start with the most visible problem, which is packaging. Every delivery order comes with a small pile of stuff: plastic containers, wrappers, bags, utensils, sauce packets, all used once and thrown away. According to the United Nations Environment Program, almost 40% of all plastics produced are used in food packaging, including single use products, and 85% of that waste is non recyclable and ends up in landfills. Then there's the emissions. Most deliveries don't arrive by bike, they come by car or scooter. A study in Jakarta, Indonesia, analyzed CO2 emissions, and they found that emissions from online food delivery are twice as high as without delivery. Online delivery increases road occupancy by 1.4 times, further contributing to its growing carbon footprint and highlighting yet another hidden environmental cost of convenience.
I used to drive 60 to 70 miles a day, and it didn't matter if it was a $4 order across town. It added up real fast in gas, especially during the surge prices.
And beyond the trash and emissions, there's something harder to measure, and that's how disconnected we become from the food we eat. Delivery removes the entire process, from buying ingredients to cooking and serving, and replaces it with a transaction. You don't know where the food came from, you just know it showed up. To really understand this problem, we have to ask how we got here. Go back to the 1950s. After World War II, American cities spread out, suburbs boomed, and cars became central to everyday life. People wanted food fast, and they didn't want to leave their vehicles. This is where drive-thrus and fast food enter. In Fast Food Nation, Eric Schlosser explains how chains like McDonald's and Burger King shaped the modern food system. Meals were built for speed, highly processed, heavily packaged, and designed for volume. Convenience wasn't just a perk, that was the whole point. As time passed, more families had two working parents. Cooking at home became harder. Takeout filled the gap. In The Omnivore's Dilemma, Michael Pollan talks about how this shift separated us from the process of food. We stopped seeing food as something to make and started seeing it as something to order. And then came COVID. During lockdown, food delivery wasn't just convenient, it was necessary. People couldn't dine out, so apps became a lifeline. During 2020, food related packaging waste surged across the US, and even after lockdowns ended, the habit stayed.
Every order I picked up had 2 to 3 layers of packaging. It was boxes inside bags with napkins, sauces, and utensils that no one ever touched.
Today, delivery is just part of the norm. But it's not a norm that happens overnight. It's been building for 70 years. Part of why this system has lasted so long is because of how it's marketed. Think about the ads you've seen for food delivery. They don't talk about emissions or waste. They talk about ease, comfort, and joy. They show smiling people, colorful meals, and instant gratification. The language around food has shifted from connection, like cooking with family or sitting down for dinner, to disconnection. Now it's about speed. Food arrives silently and disappears just as fast. Apps even use phrases like crave delivered or your hunger solved, completely detaching food from its source. The story they're telling is one where convenience is harmless, but we know that's not true.
One time I asked if they could just not give me the plastic bag because the food already had a box. And they just looked pretty confused. No one really cares. They just want it fast.
And sure, there are some efforts to improve things. Some cities have started banning certain plastics. A few apps now offer eco packaging or bike deliveries in specific areas, but these are rare and optional. The deeper issue is still about how we think, not just what we use. So, what do we do with all this? We're not saying delete your apps forever, but we are saying think before you tap. Ask yourself, do I need the plastic fork? Could I walk to pick this up instead? Could I cook once this week? Convenience culture has a cost. And until we face it, we'll keep repeating the same cycle, outsourcing our meals, burning fuel, and tossing plastic into landfills, all for the sake of saving around 45 minutes. To fix the future, we have to understand the past. We didn't stumble into this system, we built it. Now it's up to us to decide if we keep it or if we start making something better.